Welcome to Degrees of Separation, a podcast where we journey to learn how we are connected and who we are connected to.
It gives us at least a glimpse of how connected we all are.
From entrepreneurs and small business owners to difference makers and thought leaders throughout our communities. This is Degrees of Separation with Joshua Peacock and Daryl DJ Sales.
Hey man, what it is, what it do, man. We back off up in this thing one more time, man. I had some technical difficulties, man, with my camera, but guess what? The show must go on. It's your host,
Must go.
Elder. It got to, man. It got to go on, boy. I'm telling you, man. But I'm your host, Elder Joshua Peacock.
And it's your boy Daryl DJ Sales.
Oh yeah,
Bye-bye.
oh yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. You just can't see mine. You know what I'm saying? To all our faithful listeners, this ain't gonna be nothing different for you. You know what I'm saying? But we still have a beautiful, wonderful, intellectual conversation that is much needed, and you're going to get it now. You know what I like about us, DJ?
What's up?
That we're not what do you call it? A topical or daily topical or societal topical show. You know what I mean? A lot of people they take the cheap route, man, by commenting and having a podcast based on what's going on in
The current events.
Current events. Yeah, that's exactly the word I was looking for. Current event podcast. We're not a current event podcast.
Yeah.
We might hit on something here or there, but not really a current event, podcast. That's what I like about us, man, because it's a challenge, as you know, to find content when you're
Yes.
not a current event. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, how you been, man, since the last time we've been on here?
Man, I've been well. I've been very busy. Usually end of the year, pretty busy for me. We got birthdays and get-togethers and family type events, and you be like, man, I just wanna come home and relax in my recliner. But nonetheless, man, the Lord's been giving me strength concerning that, and yeah, so I've been pushing along though, man. I've been reading a lot too. I've been reading a whole lot, man. I'm actually considering whether or not I want to go to school, if I want to expedite that process or not.
Okay.
Yeah, theology, man.
All right. Theology. Yeah, man. Yeah. I've been working like a slave, man. Tired, boss. I'm tired right now, man.
They work everybody at the job like that,
No, man.
I'm gonna say some people about to grow.
So, hey, when you posted it the other day, boy, I fell out laughing
What's the nut?
because I knew what you was talking about, man. Some people about
Oh,
to grow. But yeah, man. But speaking on people that make content, man. Today our topic is about for the culture. Now that's a topic. That's a saying that's been going on for a little minute now, man.
yeah.
For the culture, do it for the culture. You know what I mean? What is culture first and foremost? It's something that is something different than race or ethnicity. And I think people might get ethnicity a little mixed up with culture. You know what I mean? Because they think because you're of a particular ethnicity that you have a particular culture.
Mm-hmm.
But culture is, drum roll please, brrr. Culture can be defined as all the ways of life, including art, beliefs, and institutions of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Culture has been called the way of life for an entire society. As such, it includes codes of manners, dress, language, religion, rituals, and art. So, codes and manners, dress, language, religion, rituals, and art. Now, when people say for the culture, what are they talking about? What culture are they talking about?
When people say do it for the culture,
Yeah.
I feel like they're talking about whatever culture suits the action that they want that person to do. Like in all honesty, it's like I saw a video where the dudes would be like, man, you know, spin around for me, the girl will turn around, and then they'd be like, one more time for the culture. It's like, what culture are y'all talking about? Black or it's really just the culture, the culture that's gonna get you to spin around again. Like that's how I look at it.
the pervert culture.
Ah,
Now, would that be considered a pervert? I don't know. I don't think so.
nah, I don't know. It'll,
Nah, nah,
but
it's
I
not.
don't know. I think that it's just in that sense, it's probably just a little colloquial term.
Yeah, I say that 4 times fast. Colloquial, 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 colloquial.
I don't even know if I'm saying.
Boom,
I can't.
colloquial.
I can't even.
But I can't spell it, but I can say it though, and I know what it means. But no, I think the biggest culture out there, man, is the hip hop culture.
It is. It is. The hip hop culture is huge. Rap. I don't know, and I guess you could separate the two actually, because rap is a musical art
It's
form.
an art form, yeah.
Right. Right. So but nonetheless, rap is the most listened to genre in the world right now,
Right.
and that's the
So
that
so rap is the art form, hip hop is the culture,
hip hop is
and
culture.
there were what's the five? That's the five things that you gotta have for the culture of hip hop. There's the
What is it
dance,
for?
huh? I think it's five, man. It's dance, graffiti,
Graffiti up. It was
the rap, and DJ. That's the four. The DJ, the rap, the graffiti, and the dance. Yeah,
yep. The dance. What was the dance? B-boy.
yeah. Yeah. Those are I think it's five elements, man. The dress.
Thought it was four. I
It's not dress.
think it was four, homie. We gonna
Man,
Google it.
man, I got to Google it. He's
Google
my
it.
friend. Yeah, man. Watch. It's five elements, man.
It's five elements.
Yeah. MCing, DJing, breaking, graffiti, and beatbox.
Oh, it is. No, four elements of hip hop, bro.
Somebody threw in
Turns
beatbox.
DJing, rapping, also known as MCing. Graffiti and breakdancing or
Yeah.
b-boy.
Somebody put beatboxing in there. I should have
Boy,
known
why they
that.
say it five though?
Somebody had beatboxing on the five.
MCing, DJing, breaking, graffiti. Say and beatboxing. Nah, it's only four, bro. Last I checked, man.
But either way, that's the culture.
I'm about to say, man, for it to be the culture, bro, we can't even decide on 4 or 5.
But I would throw dressing in too,
Yeah.
because again, going back to culture, dressing is part of it. The rituals and all this other stuff. But
So you
but
think that can change over time though? Because
uh,
cultures, I think that well, it's crazy. It's loopy because once you change up a portion of a culture, who's to say that you haven't slipped out of that culture and into another one?
right,
Yeah.
right.
So I can
Well,
get what you're saying.
people put their own spin onto it, and some people gravitate to more of a part of a culture than the other. Some people gravitate more to the DJing, or more to the MCing, or more to the dancing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But those are the foundational elements of hip hop, and it has um, been added to, though. It has grown to be worldwide. You know what I mean? To where you can go to the most remote place. Something that happened started in New York. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
the boogie down Bronx. You know what I'm saying? So it was something that started in a little state, little old city, in
Yeah.
one little borough, and now it has its the influence has been worldwide. You know what I mean? To where you got people in Asian countries and African
Right.
countries, and you
Right.
know what I mean. It's the
Right.
most infiltrated
Right.
culture too. You know what I mean?
I think
Um,
I
go
think
ahead.
that because I think it's because we mixed up like you said the culture with the art style.
Right,
Like the art will be rap, people are just saying, oh yeah, anybody can rap. It's like, yeah, but you can't allow them to kind of infiltrate our culture though, you feel me?
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, what state of the culture do you think the culture is in a positive state right now?
I mean, I if I was honest with you, I think that culture isn't inherently wrong, like inherently. I think that, there could be certain aspects, but the culture as a whole, I don't think it can be inherently wrong. Like what I mean by that is, um, like I guess a part of, because the Hebrews had a theocracy, so a part of their culture that like from the lens of hindsight, we looking at it, we would say, hey, like murdering animals is wrong, but I
Right.
can't say, oh, the whole culture itself is wrong. Nah, just that portion of it to me is like y'all shouldn't be doing that right now, and
Well, when we talk about the culture, we talking about the hip hop culture. Would you all say the young black culture is the same as the hip hop culture? Generally speaking, not specifically every
all right,
black
yeah, yeah, yeah.
youth.
Generally, I would say that the younger hip hop culture is, if you want to call it that, like if they adopted that whole thing, yeah, yeah, I think it's in a bad state.
Um, we first of all, rap is nothing new.
Yeah,
Rap is biblical.
yeah,
The Psalms
yeah.
is rap.
Hmm.
Music over lyrics, lyrics over music,
Right,
and that's what the Psalms were.
right. Rhythm and poetry.
Rhythm and poetry. Yep. And so the Psalms, the book of Psalms is literally a rap book, a rap lyrics. You know what I mean? So this ain't nothing new. So whenever, what I'm saying, Youth Sunday come around and them young folk get up there rapping and everything, and all the old folks looking at them crazy and
Right.
saying this is not of God. Well, you got to deal with David and all the other psalmists, you know what I'm saying?
Facts,
You
heathen.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's something new, but when we speak about the culture, I think it's a automatically understood term in what we're talking about. You know what I mean? And I think it's been exposed. And it's been exposed, and I say that it's been exposed because the hottest person, one of the hottest, well, actually the two hottest people on the internet right now are from part of the culture, and they're exposing parts of the culture. That's Charleston White and Kanye West.
Oh Lord, if we don't stay away from Kanye,
What you mean we don't stay away from Kanye? What they
man,
gonna do? Blackball us?
nah. I mean, I don't care about it at all because it's still black platforms. But
Right.
nah, I'm just saying, man, because I don't know, man. Kanye, they done been talking about this dude forever. He just today he went inside of a Skechers and demanded to speak to
I
somebody.
thought they already removed him out of the sketches. Oh
Yeah,
no, was that the Gap?
nah, it was Skechers that they just removed him out today. Gap already dropped him.
No, I'm saying this, I think this happened already. The sketches thing, unless he went to another one.
He walked into one. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I heard about that before today. I haven't
Really?
been in the news cycle on today. But let's deal with Charleston White.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Charleston White?
I ain't gonna lie. I feel I kind of rock with what Charleston White says, wholeheartedly. I mean, it probably
So
took him going through, some rough patches, on the other side of the fence to finally be like, hey, look, um, I definitely had the wrong perspective of literally how the world works. You feel me? And it's certain things that he said that I don't agree with, but like for the most part, man, like if I had to put a perspective, I mean a percentage to it, bro, I probably agree with like 97% of what he say, 98.
right. So you agree that T.I.'s son King looked like a platypus?
You dingy, man. I would say more like a muppet, but I I I agree that Ti's son is a child, even if he's 18. I don't think you really come out of that childlike mindset until you're like well of age, like for a boy, being honest with you. I
Right.
mean, if I can make it equal, I think that both women and men, or both boys and girls, I don't think they like come out of that childlike mindset until they're like 25, being
Yeah,
real with you.
yeah. Generally speaking.
Yeah, like generally speaking, I think 24, like 25 is. And but I don't disagree with much of what Charleston White was saying, like he doesn't have any respect for his elders. When I was T.I.'s son age, I wasn't out here going in on people like how his son is, King. I wasn't
Yeah.
going in on people like how he was, man. Especially the people I don't know. Like that's crazy.
Do you think it comes from entitlement?
I think that comes from what entitled if by entitlement you mean who his dad is, yeah. Because
Yes.
now it's funny because now his dad is trying to rebuild the same community that he to a certain extent helped destroy or help harm, whatever the case may be. I won't say destroy, but um he helped harm. So now, guess what his son's doing? His son is following right in his footsteps. And instead of him taking accountability and saying, hey, well, look, Charleston was right, you jumped off, Charleston was right, you jumped off sides, da 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 da. Nah, he's like, well, yeah, eventually he's gonna grow up. We gotta let it run its course. Like, bro, no, we're not gonna let it run. Why let it run its course while he's somewhat still malleable, because once he's of age, Ti, you ain't gonna be. It's gonna come a point where you won't even be able to say anything to him.
Right. Well, I agree with like the core message of Charleston White. I agree with
Mm-hmm.
100%. This core message.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I agree with him even when he antagonizes celebrities and speaks about the dead in such a way that some people would say is derogatory, is disrespectful. Um, not the very speech that he's saying,
Yeah, of
but
course.
the understanding that look, we had a episode talking about celebrity and who we celebrate and who we should celebrate,
Mm-hmm.
and people lose their mind. And I've never been the one to put so much like I've never had like a super celebrity crush. You know what I mean? I like Kelly Rowland, I like Kyla Pratt, but I wouldn't like fiending for these women and like what I'm saying. I've never had that celebrity idol or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I never put too much stock in another human being like that. And for the whole world, and I understand they have great impact on many people, but to um to emote so much more over someone's death than the person that's in your community, it just you don't even know these people. You'll never be able to reach out and talk to these people. You can't, even with where the internet
Right.
is now, you're not even going to be able to have a personable relationship with these people. Yet your life and how you move and they can affect your life to where you can have a bad day because of something they said or done, or because they the world stops at some of these people's death. You know, I just don't understand it to the point that you know we like people have to get a grasp. Like I hit his, and I might be rambling, man. I might just be rambling.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
yeah,
tired, but we got to get a hold. We got to get a hold on how much we emote towards someone else's life that we don't know, even though they had a major
right,
impact on us. And
right,
that's what he's saying. Like when he talks about King Von and all these other people that who has, you know what I'm saying, uh, has passed and has fallen under such great turmoil. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you don't move like this for the people that's in your community that's getting killed.
right,
So why should I have so much more respect for someone that I don't even know. I don't know their music. I don't know who they are. They ain't have no kind of weight in my life. But because they're a celebrity, I'm wrong.
right,
But in their music, they can talk about killing, shooting, slinging drugs, disrespecting women. But there's no outrage about when they do that. But when they die, there's outrage about how they died.
right. I remember him specifically saying like Vaughn was like a real deal. Like Vaughn was a
Yeah,
real deal.
real killer.
He was a stepper. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like so, when he's gone, and it's like, nah, you don't want. Nah, I don't think innately anyone wants to see someone die,
Right.
but bro, when you live by the sword, that's how you gotta go. Like that's the life that you chose. Like a lot of times, like I'd be happy to tell people like, look, bro, I was real square growing up. You feel me? And they'd be like, really? Yeah, I was real square growing up. Like I wasn't this thugged out dude. That you might just look at me and be like, oh, well, I bet you had a past. Like, nah. Like, and I'm happy because that I chose my side. Like, I don't live that type of life, so I don't expect the drama that comes with that type of life. But when you do, like, that's what you can expect. You feel me? And Charleston White is heavy on like accountability, and I think that one of the things that we need to do is we need to hold our people ourselves accountable for the culture that we create. Like sure we all have received trauma from a system that was pitted against us, like years before we were here, centuries before we were here, right?
Right.
But at the same time, once we acknowledge the ways that we're being subjugated, now it's time for us to change it. And it's people who literally come out of that lifestyle. They come out of it. They lived it. They come out of it. And they hear Charleston White and they're like, oh well, he's a snitch, or he's green. And it's like, nah, bro, I'm lit. And then he's telling them, I'm literally out here actively trying to change the surroundings, that people are being brought up in. He talked a lot about what's dude mom's name. He talked a lot about somebody mom, man. It wasn't Vaughn mama. He talked a lot about one of the guys' mom. And
Not more three.
I forget who. It ain't Mo 3 either. He talked a lot about a guy's mom. Chi-Town. I want to say dude mom may have been off O Block or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's gonna mess me until I look it up. But yeah, he speaks highly about not only just doing that, but traveling and going to actually speak, at public events, and actually giving back to the community. Like I understand. I don't even know what Charleston White's history background is, but I can respect the fact that he's holding himself accountable. He's pushing the whole all of us, like, I won't say all of us, but all of a lot of our community, he's pushing to hold these people accountable, and we all should do that. You feel me? If if Ti came to my school and was like, "Hey, look," or to my college and was like, "Hey, look, I book bags to X amount of people, and crayons or pencils, pens, things of that nature, but his son was still acting up the way he acting up right now. I can hold him accountable, like, bro, you need to be giving these to your kids, like,
Right.
you need to be making sure that you know what I'm saying."
Well, Charleston White's background is, I think, around 14 years old. He was arrested for capital murder and sent to a boys' home for 7 years, where he joined the gang, the Crips, I think. And while he was in the boys' home, he got out at 21. He changed his life around and started doing community. He does a lot actual work in the community where he gets children off of, like, get them out of major trouble, like capital murder, like, just like he gets them out of the system and gives them another chance. And he pretty much saying, look, I'm not here for the adults because those they far gone. I'm trying to change the lives of these, and he does, I mean, actual work in the community.
Yeah,
And he tells you that he's putting on a character. I've seen old footage of Charleston White in a button up and a bow tie, talking intellectually and proper, and talking about the things that he wants to do and the things that he's doing in the community. And guess what? Little to no people listen to him at that moment. And he talks about how he watched Dolomite and saw how Dolomite was a character. And as he grew up, he thought Rudy Ray Moore, he didn't know nothing about Rudy Ray Moore. He talks about how when he went to Nip's funeral, I'm tired, but he went to Nip's funeral, and
yeah,
he didn't meet Nip. He met everybody talking
yeah,
about Aramis, the actual
yeah,
person.
yeah.
And he talks about how, he had to put on a character to be heard. And what's crazy is that even when he tells people that he's playing a character, they still can't see beyond the veil, even though he opens up the veil to show you that it's just for it's a means. There's an ends to the means,
They
and
like
people
the character.
still
That's
can't
why
see it. They like the what?
they like the character, bro. The character is it's like instead of me researching exactly what policies is being pushed, or what the nooks and crannies, or actually looking through the paperwork to try and find out what's actually going on in policy. Nah, I rather point at Trump, or I rather point at Biden. You feel me? Like,
Right.
people like to do that as opposed to actually digging and searching.
This
They
man
like,
was a law student.
really.
Yeah, he's a law student. Yeah. Like, I'm so tapped in to what Charleston White got going on that is like, I don't know how many interviews I done watched to him. I don't know how many clips I done watched to his. Like, I'm so tapped into what he got going on, to, well, my YouTube is just, it's not just his videos, but a lot of the suggested videos are from Charleston White. I mean, I'm talking about from stuff 10 years ago to recent. Like, I've seen a lot of his work. I've seen where he tried to come to the people on an intellectual, sophisticated level, and to where some people say the coonery started. I've seen it all, but his message, his core message, is still the same. Which you said is holding the community responsible for our conditions. And as the hip hop culture, or the culture, that's one thing that is not being upheld, and that is accountability.
Yes.
I work at a job, man, where the people that work there, they are not accountable. Man, if somebody say does something wrong and gets written up, and then they come in and start complaining about what management just did to them, you know, everybody else gonna pile on and say, well, yeah, management's wrong, man. They doing this, they wrong, they wrong. But they will not tell a other coworker, bro, you got written up because you called out. Bro, you got written up because you didn't do what the job standard is. Like you don't hold the person next to you accountable. And it's like you can't be everybody's friend, man. Because when you don't hold them accountable, then you have to suffer the consequences with them.
Right.
Because you work so closely with them, when it affects them, it affects you as well.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on in the culture is accountability. When was
But
the
see,
last time? Go ahead.
I was going to say what I think it is, bro, is I think that we become too individualized to even care about what someone like we often say, man, I don't care what that person think. I don't care what that person think. But to a certain extent, you have to. Like it's called a culture. Cult. That's the root. CULT. So people will hear that and be like, oh, nah, jump out their skin. No. Like we share, we have a common if we even if let's say if we don't all have a common goal, we all benefit. We all have a common benefit, like from the culture, especially in the community. Like we, it's a term that people use. They say, "Oh, black people aren't a monolith,"
Right, 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 right.
but they utilize that to say, "Hey," and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's honestly a cop out. What it is when you start attacking people's points, and they don't like the attack, they'll say, "Oh, well, don't, well, we're all not a monolith, so don't attack me with that point." I'm not. I don't identify as what these people identify as. No. How about you just look? Okay, look. We may not all be a monolith, but all of us must share, and we're all going to share in the deterioration of the black community or in the deterioration of black culture. Like we're all going to share in it. Like it doesn't that has nothing to do with everybody individually. Like people are going to look at us and they're going to decide whether or not we are a part of that culture. It doesn't matter how we feel. They're going to look and they're going to decide. And they're not going to decide based off of this one. Oftentimes, they're not going to decide based off of this one individual thing you've done. No, they're going to decide off of what's speaking loud and what they can see, what's being propagated. And what's being propagated is a lack of accountability, especially among like celebrities, man, and the people who are in the public eye. Like that's speaking louder than anything else for us right now.
Right, right. I was born in 86. You was born, what, 90, 89? You just hit it? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have witnessed, uh, I have a big palette of music that I have enjoyed or enjoy. I listen to blues, jazz, oldies, R&B, rap, gangster rap, gospel, country. I listen to pretty much everything besides pop. You know what I mean?
You
Uh,
listen to pop by definition.
yeah, yeah, by definition. Um, so I have a great palette of music, and we have witnessed gangster rap at its and almost inception to
Mm,
its height.
you're right.
We've witnessed conscious rap.
You're
You know what
right.
I mean? It's hip hop started as a coming off. These are the children, and this is something Charleston White has even said. This comes from the children of civil rights. This is from the children of the people who fought in civil rights. You know what I mean? These were teenagers at the time, and so this was like another form of revolution and lifestyle, something that was made up out of just like rock and roll was made up from the culture.
Yep.
Blues was made up from the culture.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Country was made up from the culture.
mhm.
And then hip hop comes as a new art form to represent the culture of the young people. And it has formulated to many different things into the bling bling era. We lived in that. That was our heyday. You
Right.
know what I
That's what
mean? Yeah,
2009
man. I was in high school during that time. You know what I'm saying?
bullshit.
So yeah, man. So we've seen different interpolations of hip hop throughout the years, and it was, and it has been taken over. It has been covertly taken over, but at the same time, we still push and can change the culture. And
Mhm.
what I'm saying is that there has to be a responsibility to the artist and to the buyer. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen someone uh, become encompassed by the music that they listen to? Like they take on the identity of the music that they listen
Oh
to,
yeah,
like wholeheartedly.
yeah,
I've seen that happen. I've seen a young man that I knew who was raised in church, raised with good morals and values, and started to listen to Tupac and listen to Tupac religiously, and became the lyrics that Tupac rapped about. Not the '80s, early '90s Tupac, but the Don Illuminati, Machiavelli, rolling with Suge, you know,
yeah,
Thug Life, Death Row Tupac. And I
yeah,
seen this young man turn into a completely different person and become encompassed by these lyrics. And that's what's happening to our youth today. Whose responsibility is that to curtail that? Is it one person? Is it everybody? What do you think?
I think it's everybody's. Like straight up. Like I don't think that I think that we need to revamp the saying black people are not a monolith because we are viewed as one. Like regardless of how you we could say that all day. Hey, look, just because them people over there acted that way doesn't mean I didn't. Yeah. Well, guess what? Those people are millionaires and they're rappers. So these are the people that more people are going to see them than you.
Right.
So I think we're all responsible, because they flashing with our money. They're propagating music with our money. And so it's like, you know, we we should we should be able to have some say so over what they push in our communities if it's some money that's being spent to propagate it and being spent to facilitate their lifestyle. And I feel like more blacks need to think that way, and start ethno aggregating all together, not just, you know, concerning our artists or our musicians, our media, or African American media, whatever you want to call it. I feel like we should do that to all things
Right.
concerning everything.
You know, something that Kanye West did say that I'd like to speak about um, is when he was saying what was really anti-Semitic was kill that N, F that B, kill that
Yeah,
N, F that B. That is what is pushed, and I think like I agree with you. I believe that it's everybody. It's the parent, it's the company, it's the rapper, it's the community. But
yeah,
I think we have to not just say it to them because when we were young, we were listening to it. We may not have followed the lyrics to a T. But we were influenced to a degree from it. But I believe our minds change because we have families now. We have young children now. We
mhm,
are property owners. You know what I'm
different
saying? We
perspective.
are taxpayers now. We have a different perspective, and I think instead of telling them the perspective, we should show them the perspective. You know, scared straight. You know what I'm saying? That was, I think, a game changer for a lot of people who had to firsthand witness that, firsthand go experience that. You know what I mean? Taking people. What happened to us driving through the neighborhood with our children and just showing them the conditions of the
Yeah,
community. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I remember I have an uncle, and to this day, people say I look just like him, and it's one of my dad's brothers, and he dealt with drug addiction his entire adult life. He's still alive, but I grew up as a little boy, always had I looked like this uncle, right?
Yeah.
Never met him before in my life. He was always in and out of jail or whatever. And so one day, my dad pulled up to the store, and this man come up. My daddy he always kept a clean Cadillac. I'm in the passenger seat. My daddy get out. He pull up. He get out and start talking to this man. And this man is standing right next to my window,
Yeah.
and he's like leaning up against the car, but he's so jittery, like the car's shaking because he rocking back and forth. And I look up at this man.
Gee.
What's that?
And I said, geez, he was
Like,
that
like,
jittery?
he just he got his hand up against it and he like rocking like a back and forth rock. So the car, swaying a little bit. And so I look at this man's face and I automatically knew who he was because I've heard my whole entire life that I look like this man. And I knew that was my uncle. Never met him before in my life. I knew that it was my uncle. And I knew he dealt with drugs and I saw his condition. And then later on in life, when I was staying with my dad, he came and lived and he was clean for a little bit. And I had conversations with him and stuff. But what had happened to us seeing the conditions of other people, like back in the day, if you used drug, you were frowned upon. Now in the
Right.
music, you use drugs. It's like the cool thing to do to pop a perk
Right.
to you see that even DMT and the
Right.
Toad and all that stuff is being popularized. It's on shows like it's on sports shows being talked about like the Pivot and on Joe Rogan. He's a big promoter of it, and you
Yeah.
got Aaron Rodgers talking about it, and you got Deontay Wilder talking about it, and all these celebrities are talking about doing this drug and doing other drugs, and it's popularized, and it's you're lame if you ain't popping a perk, if you ain't rolling, if you ain't, and it was kind of in our day. It started to come up, Fabo and other, but before if you were a
Wayne.
crackhead and you did dope, you was looked down upon. But now it's popularized. When we need to get back and show our children, look, this is a road that you can be on if you do these things. I remember growing up in high school, going to house parties, and back then I used to smoke weed. I used to smoke heavy, but there was a limit that I would not go. I was around people that was doing coke back in high school, but I always said, man, I'll never do that. There was a limit that I would go, but now, man, if
Yeah.
you're doing it, man, you're L7, man.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Man,
old,
listen.
man. Jive turkey sucker.
Man, listen, man. I remember they had a song picking at people, mama, wasn't it?
Your mama on crack rock. That one.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like I definitely agree with you. There was once upon a time where like my stepdad would drive me where all the homeless people at, and I'd be like, man, what's going on here? Oh, well, this is where you end up if you do drugs or stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Another thing that I think is missing is I think that um need milestones within our culture, like real milestones, not oh boy, you got you some cutty. Like nah, like that's not a milestone. Like your son's 16, 15, 16, and you asking him, if he's having, or if he's fornicating. It's like, bro,
Right.
that's not a milestone. That's not like, because you're gonna wind up taking care of the child, if you bring one home or, whatever the case may be. And I think that these milestones would actually help with emotional intelligence among men, because it's really milestones that men need, like, within our community, within our culture. Like a good milestone could be like certain practices that I've heard the Jews do. Like 12 years old, your son becomes a man. Talk to him about finances, teach some financial literacy. Women too. Not saying that women ain't gonna learn it, but um, the boy should definitely because the boy has to be men have to be set up before like women, like generally, like
They have
you.
to provide. They have to provide.
Right, and women are going to be checking for you. Like I don't care how you look, women are going to be checking for you to be in a certain position by the time you're like between 18 to 24. And if you aren't in that position, they're going to look down upon you. And you want to be able you want to be able to present the best scenario to your wife, like not your girlfriend, but your wife. You feel me? um I don't know, man. It's easier said than done. And place just trying to the method, the methodology behind how to do this is also something that needs to also be discussed. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. Also, man, we have to father other children, especially the children that are in our children's lives. You know what I mean? That don't
Boy,
have a
black
father.
man so jaded, they don't even want to do that. And
But
out
tell you
here,
the truth, though, tell you the
yeah,
truth, man. I know more people on the other side of the spectrum of a lot of issues. Like I know more men who are in their children's lives than aren't. And I
oh
guess
yeah,
that has to
oh
deal with
yeah,
my circle. That has to deal with my circle. I know more men who are taking care of someone else's child, um, and not just with the
yeah,
mama, just to be with the mama.
yeah,
I know more men who are stand up guys because I guess that's just my circle because I'm a stand up guy, and I have a stepdaughter who I don't consider my stepdaughter, who I consider my daughter. Anytime I say, and this might be the first time I've said it on podcast, the word, say she's my stepdaughter. When I introduce myself to somebody else, or I say how many kids I got five of them. I got five. I got four
he ain't tell
biological
me that,
grandkids.
bro. Nah, that's what
Huh?
he ain't
You stupid. I've been with her mama since we was talking since she was like a month or 2 months before she turned 3. She'll be 11 in about a few weeks. You know what I mean? So I've been rocking with her mama for 8 years. So that's my daughter, man. Don't treat her no different. You know what I'm saying? A daddy in her life, but I still, that's my daughter. You know what I
mm,
mean? We have to we have to show the youth, man. And even as an older dude at my job, I still try to talk to the youngest, man. Sometimes I don't, because they was, if I get them by themselves or if I'm training them, I try to give them some wisdom. I try to give them some wisdom, man, because what I mean. I was once that young dude out there trying to figure it out for myself, man. But
yeah.
the culture is so. Have you ever had secondhand embarrassment?
Have I ever had secondhand embarrassment?
Yes. You know what secondhand embarrassment is?
No.
All right. Say you in the store and another black person come in and they act just as ghetto and hood and ratchet as possible. Do you, as another black person, get secondhand embarrassment the way they act and representing our culture,
Of
so to speak?
course,
Because like you said, we're not a monolith, but we're looked at as a monolith.
you're right.
So when you have another black person who's not acting in a proper manner or in a
Likeable,
respectable manner or
respectable.
likable manner, do you get secondhand embarrassment?
Of course, yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie, I do. Like I get it. It's like that feeling that you experience. It's like feeling embarrassed for people. Yeah, I get you.
and we were and then we're a I don't know, man, like conscious, not conscious, but a victim conscious society, man.
Yes.
We always love to play the victim. We always love to go see the slave movie. We always want to talk about what the white man or the man is doing, or
The
you
oppression.
know, yeah, yeah. It's we have to change the narrative, man. We have to change the narrative. We
So
have to.
so Peacock, you would hold the sentiment that it's in our power to change it, regardless of any construct that was made the to like stop that process. Even though it's a construct that even if we believe that hey there's a construct that was made to subjugate us, you still believe that it's well within our power and our means to change it.
Yes, because we may not be able to change how other people treat us, but we can change how we treat each other.
Okay.
That's changeable. Even though some people are far gone, it has to start somewhere. All right, when you walk past another black man, do you speak to them?
If I walk past a group,
Why not? Why not a group?
it depends, man. It depends. Like if I'm not led to, I'm just gonna be quiet.
You wrong, man. You wrong. You gotta speak to your black
I'm
brother.
gonna keep I'm gonna keep it a buck though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man.
So what?
Stay.
Just break that down. See, but that's a there's complexities to that. Break that down.
I think that it's in all honesty, it's learned behavior. Like it's a learned behavior that we don't want to seem gullible or weak, because that could lead someone to kind of even I don't even want you generally or typically you don't even want someone to think, hey, I could get over on this person, because it could invite unwarranted attention, unwarranted behavior.
I think if somebody wants to do something to you, they've already
Hold on
mapped out
one
who they
second,
can do it to.
Peacock.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe people who are out to get over on people or to take advantage of somebody or do something to someone, they've already mapped out who um who they can get, who they're gonna try. As if you look like a duck, then you're gonna get tried like a duck. Just like a woman already knows who she can take advantage of. A man already knows who they can take advantage of. Dealing with relationship wise, dealing with who you can get over on. Who you can get up on, and I think that happens before you even speak a word. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So you know, uh, I think they already know before you even speak to them or not. But I understand what you're saying.
I mean, I think so, but it's like we're relative beings. We relate. So like the way, like it, we could have I have an inkling of hey, I could get over this person, but the more they present themselves, or the more it's like they show the more it's like the more you're around them, the more vulnerability they could show. Like
What
they
about
you could
this?
yeah.
What about this? What about you speaking to them disarms them from doing that? They could have it preconceived to do it, but then when you come present yourself as respectable and acknowledging them, that you offset that action. What about that?
Yeah, I mean that could possibly be true
Because
also.
the word says that a kind word does what?
But it turns away wrath.
Yeah. So a soft kind word can change the whole trajectory of the encounter.
Mm,
So let me
I
ask let me ask you this: if there's a group of white men coming, would you speak to them?
probably not.
Oh, why not?
Huh?
Or is it just your personality
No,
not to
I think
be
it depends. I think it depends if I'm led to, like, I'm gonna go ahead and chit chat with you. But at the same time, I don't know. I speak well. If colors in the mix, I probably speak to black people quicker than whites because I don't have to explain myself to them. Like sometimes I feel like I have to shuck and jive for white people, bro.
you
Like
do.
if I'm being honest with you, Peacock, as big as I am, like sometimes I feel like I got to like
Oh, I
be
see what you're saying.
yeah, like be like a dog, like, oh, I don't want to hurt you. No, bro, I can just be myself and y'all accept like
I
you
see what
know?
you're saying. I ain't
Yeah.
got that problem.
And I know black dudes like, look, we don't care how big it is, but we're gonna knock it down.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. 'Cause I forgot that your
honestly, me,
size. I forgot your size plays a role in it as well.
mhm,
Yeah, I'm not that. I'm not that big. You know what I'm saying? I'm right behind you. But no, I never really, looked at it like that because, like I said, my perspective isn't that, you know. But I think we have to normalize speaking to other men. The head nod or what's going on, fellas? What's going on? What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? How's it going today, man? You know what I'm saying? And then I think that you'll be able to get a better gauge on what they would possibly do, because if you had some intentions on doing something to me and I speak to you, and your response is going to tell me what time you on.
yeah,
Your response is going to tell me what kind of time you on.
yeah, you're
And I really ain't worried about what you're going to try to do to me because I'm prepared for that. Yeah,
right. Let me say, I love my Second Amendment.
yeah, man. I ain't really too much. I'm always on guard, bro. I'm always I'm always looking for what it is. You know what I'm
You feel
saying? I
safe.
I operate at night a lot just because the time time that I work. You know what I mean? And I pump
Yeah,
my gas at night a lot of the times, where 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm always on point, man, because you just know the scenarios, man. But we have to. I like what people like Charleston White are doing and exposing the hypocrisy of the culture.
yeah.
Because a change has to happen, bro.
But he's not even being accepted. Don't you think that him accepted is a sign of like immaturity amongst like the people within the culture? Like even to the point of I could understand if it's like, hey, I looked at what he said, I checked it out, and I feel like he's on some BS. No, it's like an immediate like, nah, he can't tell, like, or nah, he can't really tell us what is what. He ain't he a snitch, he this, he that, and it's to me it seems more like condemnation before investigation. And as we know, I think it was Einstein said that's the height of ignorance. Like just because your emotions immediately tell you, oh, he's a snitch, or instead of looking at what he's saying objectively, it's like majority. I feel like majority of people are rejecting what he's saying without actually just checking into it.
From my end, man, I see him getting more acceptance than rejection. the common person, more so, I say 7 to 8 out of 10 people understand what he's saying and agree with what he's saying.
Okay,
When I look
well,
at
my bad, Peacock. What I was saying was,
when I, yeah,
among the group of people rejecting him, I think they're rejecting more so out of like the first
brainwashed.
right. Their initial emotion is to just reject,
Right.
and
Okay.
they
Yeah.
really done homework or to say, hey, uh, 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 I looked at what dude is saying and I disagree with it, and this is why. Like they don't really have a logical stance or reasonable stance.
Right. Because they again, our culture is an emotional culture.
It is,
We react out of emotion more so than intellect.
yeah.
You know, and what he does is man, he like, okay, back in the day, me and him probably would have fought. If I grew up with him, me and him probably would have fought, but then became best friends because I was very reactionary, man, back in the day. I go just because you're looking at me wrong. But in my newfound perspective that I've lived in more so than I did in my previous perspective,
Mhm.
I can hear somebody out. And if you ain't if you say something to me, like if you say something out the way, all right, you just talking. But now I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out to see where you going with where you going. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
if it doesn't pertain to me, or if it's not on my frequency, I know how to let it go. I know how to ignore it. I know how to because it has no bearing on my existence. What he if he calls the police on someone that's threatening him, kudos, man. If you notice anything about him, if he's on you and you don't respond and you leave him alone, he moves on to the next person. He is the class clown that needs the attention. And if he don't get the attention, he finds someone else who is emotionally immature and he uses them to push his agenda, to push his narrative. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like he had, I don't know if you know about him and Kevin Gates.
Uh-huh.
Him and Kevin Gates had it out, but Kevin Gates came at him with love, and now they cool. They have long extended conversations, and they work together on different
He
things.
held that man for about 2 minutes straight.
Hell, that man. They were rocking and everything, man. They were slow dancing. But what I love about it, whenever somebody calls him out on something, he will he'll code switch and he'll break down everything, the whole incident. And the
Yeah,
man funny. The man funny, man. The man is downright funny, man. He's comical, man. You know what I mean? And he has power to what he's saying.
yeah. It's a
But
tad. He's
yeah,
definitely powerful. Yeah,
yeah. Now he actually has weight in the community.
yeah. I think the best form of comedy is a comedy that's like pretty true. It's like when it's when it sting, it's like, oh yeah, that's it right there, boy. Like when Dave
Right,
Chappelle said, "How old is what 13? Really?
right,
Ooh, that thing stings."
right, right.
Yeah,
People have to be held like celebrities and people in the public eye have to be held accountable because your influence is far greater than anyone else's in the community. And
yes,
I can say something, we can say something, and it can be spot on. But our influence isn't that big. And another reason why our influence, he cracked the code on how to get your message out there. Because we talk about educational things. We talk about how you can better yourself. We talk about how you can have a successful business,
yeah,
but the numbers aren't as big as someone who is there to entertain you. And the sweet spot is not straight entertainment, it's not straight education, but is edutainment where you
yes,
can entertain while educating. and he found it. He found it, the sweet spot. And then you got some people say, "Oh, I shouldn't take all that." But yeah, but you wasn't listening to me when I was talking with some sense.
Right.
So I gotta get you to listen to me. So here come the antics. But I'm going to justify these antics by telling you what I'm gonna do, explain to you why I'm doing it. Now, should he be talking about people who are dead or whatever? I wouldn't do that. And the sentiment is of some people when I talk to him is, man, yeah, he talking that truth, but somebody gonna get him. Somebody gonna get him. And he said, look, I'm willing to die, uh, 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 kill somebody, or go to jail about what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
He
somebody
said, and I
trying to line my dog up.
and he said, if I die, don't y'all cry about my death. He says, I chose this path. He said, you don't think I understand what can happen to me? He said, don't cry for me if they kill me. But one thing that'll happen, I believe if they kill him, they'll make his message even stronger. Do you see any similarities between him and Kevin Samuels?
um, mm, I think he's more effective than KS. I think KS argue with women too much for me.
He didn't argue. Yeah, he cut him off.
I'm finna say, man, I'm not finna sit here and you got it, baby girl, you got it. Go ahead and get it. That
Yeah,
man. But yeah, I think that they both share they have like passion.
it's
Um, I,
from a place of help.
yes, and K, if you really pay attention to what KS, pushed, it was actually very beneficial to the better good of the black community. Also, he was against marriage. He
Right.
wasn't against, certain things that I feel like are what rebuild the community. Like it's stats that show, two-parent households, the child tends to do better, significantly better. You know, and it's not even people would say, well, hey, what if they want to put qualifiers in the mom's a drug addict and the dad is this. It's like, look, bro, these are the stats. You know,
Right.
and I think that those were that was I agree they had like passions, and they both are willing to die on like that hill, like they both share a level of masculinity that a lot of people can't stand.
Huh. Yeah. 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 Man, I see you about to tap out, bro.
Nah, my son said he getting bit by mosquitoes or something, so I'm like, I hope nobody ain't left window or nothing open because it's gonna be trouble up in here.
Trouble, trouble. Blue. Don't
Hurries
say
up,
nothing.
hurries up. That boy said,
Ooh, the boys gonna get tagged in there, man. But man, yeah, we got to do it for the culture. We got to change this thing for our children and our children's children to have a better society to live in, a better culture to push. And we got to hold each other accountable. We got to hold the people that promote destruction to our people, to people in general, to because it's worldwide. It's beyond just the black or white thing. We got to hold people who are accountable and put into uh what's the word I'm looking for? Have an understanding of art. Right? If we listen to it, we have to understand that this is a perspective and this isn't the only perspective. And get back to listening to it for entertainment and not a way of life. All right, because there's so many people, and another thing to hold accountable, the artists accountable for, is you got a college degree. You grew up with two parents. You grew up middle class. You grew up upper. middle class, and now you're promoting uh, grimy, in the mud lifestyle when that ain't even that was you waited till you got on to become a gang member.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now you promoting that to my child, and now my child finna go look to be a gang member because you have more influence. Just like the teacher has more influence because they spend more time at the school than they do at the house.
Right.
So accountability is key. Go ahead and let them know what's up, DJ.
Oh yes. You can find me. You talk about my handle.
Yeah, everything.
You can find me at Daryl DJ Sales on Facebook, DARYLLESALES, and on Instagram, Daryl DJ Sales. I will be in and out of um, Clubhouse at same name, Daryl, DARYLLE. I think that I'm the only one on there spell it like that. And that's everything. Yeah, that's everything, man. If Elon Musk really get Twitter off of the if he can manage to give us indeed free speech on Twitter, I'm ahead there, bro. Because I'm tired of having to deal with Facebook's policy and procedure. I can't talk to people right now.
Good God, man.
Yep, every time I turn around, bro, they put me in for something. They put my friend in for saying that the guy that I sent you the Yanuka and Jerusalem. He said that he believes he's Antichrist. 7 days banned him.
Jeez. You
Yep,
talk, you speed talking, but I understand what you're saying. Pretty much, you're saying if Twitter gives free speech, you're going there because Facebook is keep banning you and you can't talk to people
right,
and it's getting ridiculous with the banning and the censorship.
right.
So look
Big
for
tech.
Daryl DJ Sales at Twitter eventually.
Yeah, yeah, big tech.
Oh, big tech. Yeah. We might have to have a conversation about that. But here we
Techno-
go, man. What's that? Technocracy?
it's called the technocracy. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, we was talking off air, man. A spook that sat by the door. A spook who sat by the door, or the spook who sat by the door. I just got that book in. I'm getting ready to read it. Want to watch the movie. To everybody that's listening, check that out, and maybe we'll have a conversation about it. You can find us at Degrees of Separation on everything. Degrees of Separation
Good
on
grief.
Facebook and Instagram. DEGREEZ. Degrees with a Z. Degrees of Separation at YouTube, all one word. If you want to hit us up on Cash App, help us support the podcast. Intellect One, $ INTELLECT 1. We're always here to get connected, stay connected. We may be 1 or 2 degrees separated from each other, but guess what? When it comes to God, there should be 0 degrees of separation, and we out.
Degrees of separation connecting you to the source.